Avengelyne and Gorecki on the Ellie, right? Or is it
man.
enhance?
Oh. No, that's.
I'm loading. I'm loading in. I'm loading in.
You're
I'm
loading in. Look at Avengelyne just flexing on his mount, changing each second. Gorecki in the other corner on his. Whoa! He has a better mount. What the heck? Are you guys seeing this, gentlemen?
Switch to Gorecki. I want to see Gorecki.
Gorecki on this
on the
legendary.
Gorecki playing the
Oh
Ellie.
my god.
He was way off. Okay, I don't know, man. I never mind. Everything I said, just throw it out the window. I thought he was playing the rogue.
This is going to be really rough for the red as well. But if he can connect, he's going to nuke damage onto Gorecki. So if he touches him, Gorecki's going to blow up like a nuclear weapon. But if Gorecki can just lasso him and shock him, purge his freedom, kite away, he'll have a good chance here. We'll find out, gentlemen.
When Gorecki has no trinket, it's going to be bad news bears for him. Avengelyne is no contender to
The thing is, though, hey, listen. So a couple weeks ago, we saw a matchup similar to this with Drainer on the Ellie, and Drainer played it so well. He would never obviously trade Trinket and his Ancestral Shift, his wall, in one go, right? He splits them up. So if Gorecki plays the same way, I don't know, man. How is this? Reds are like wheelchairs. They barely move.
And you can see him going behind the pillar, trying to get that frost shock out of the way and mount up to get close to him. That is his line right there, and there it is. Both slowed. The Raptor form is on. The lasso is on. Freedom right away onto his charger. Stun coming in. Will he trinket this? He will just knock back and execute a sentence. Wake of Ash might land. Wake of Ash does land. The hex is going to go on Avengelyne. Avengelyne full hex. He doesn't want to bubble this and be aggressive. He doesn't know what Gorecki can do. Gorecki now trying to cut away the most possible damage from that wing. Avengelyne might go back to the pillar to mount up because he won't be able to reach him.
Stormkeeper being used though. Huge damage now by Gorecki. Gorecki playing this well. Didn't even trade trinkets or wall for the wings, right? He held both of those CDs.
That's insane.
And wasn't scared. And there's the lightning lasso. Huge damage now onto Avengelyne. Avengelyne getting nuked down. He needs to go behind the wall using his Shield of Vengeance, and that is unfortunate. Shield of Vengeance.
So unfortunate to watch as a Red Paladin player.
Shield of Vengeance does a lot of damage there, right? So he has to use it defensively. The best case for Shield of Vengeance is to use it both defensively and offensively. But having to use that when you're retreating is not the best case for Avengelyne. Avengelyne now has to sit behind the pillar, has no trinket available, has no wings, has no Shield of Vengeance. All he has is bubble. And if he gets that bubble, if he uses that bubble too early in the matchup, he's not going to look good. It's not going to look good for him in the long term. He needs to stay away and kite away. I thought Gorecki was going to come out on a rogue, and I was completely mistaken. He came out on the Ellie, and he was pushing on the Ellie a lot. I saw him playing with Whoopi and I believe Chun-Li recently, so he has a lot of Ellie experience. I don't know what I was thinking and why he wouldn't play the Ellie in this matchup.
I honestly think Gorecki's lining up a lot of damage here. He has Strum. He has Stormkeeper up. He's looking to actually reverse the nuke. There is a lightning lasso looking to set something up here. If we see a Stormkeeper, there is his Stormkeeper and his Orc Racial. Doesn't get it off though, saves it just for a little bit. There's the cast, trying to connect to Avengelyne with a full Maelstrom proc, trying to just nuke this guy down, and Avengelyne milking the pillar like it was a young goat.
He needs to though, right? He needs to use this pillar. Like, this is his only shot of winning. So if you want him to have any of a chance, he needs to use this pillar and try and bait down that trinket. He needs to bait Gorecki's wall. But until dampening hits, Gorecki's not going to feel any pressure, right? There's no other way to do this setup, this 1v1 bracket in an arena with dampening starting immediately, right? War games don't start till 5 minutes, I believe. So he literally has to sit here. He does have his trinket back up again. He does have wings back up again. He does have bubble back up again, so he can't go out there for another go, but he needs to try and force a trinket or a wall. Otherwise, he's going to sit there on that pillar until dampening racks up, and Gorecki has a huge advantage here.
100%. Every go that Gorecki has received, he hasn't even had to do anything. All he does is pop his thunder, that right there, this thunder knock. Well, I don't know what it's called, god dang it, ladies and gentlemen, but he just evades all types of damage with it. But he
gets the kill on the head. Huge damage onto Gorecki. Avengelyne just going full out, popping Shield of Vengeance as well. He can just blow up here.
Triggers the Hex though, and he's all over Gorecki right now. He's used his wall, so now Avengelyne has used bubble as well though. He used bubble and trinket, so he went for the one shot there. Might be getting a little frustrated here.
Gorecki just topped off though. That whole wing damage, he just countered it.
Listen,
I'm not sure if Avengelyne can win this.
Listen, there's rock, paper, scissors in World of Warcraft, right? Some classes are just not going to be other classes, right? This is not a favorable matchup to be a red. I thought Gorecki might play a rogue. He's playing the Ellie. This is not favorable. Here's the lightning lasso now onto Avengelyne. He's going to have to try and get away around this pillar. But the way Gorecki is playing until dampening, Avengelyne can't play aggressive, and he decided to try and go for the one-shot. Pog champs to him, trying to make it more exciting for you guys watching. But this does not favor Avengelyne. If he wants to win, he needs to sit back there forever and wait for dampening to rack up, because if dampening was racked up, when he did that go, he would be in a much better position.
That would
Literally.
be huge.
And now he's just cutting away. There's a Hammer of Justice, no trinket. He has trinket available, not baiting the trinket. He still has no wall for 19 seconds. So Avengelyne just gonna have to sit here for another, I don't even know, a long time.
Yeah, this will be a dampening game, ladies and gentlemen. You might as well get some water right now.
Get your popcorn. Bring out your
popcorns. Unless Gorecki plays full aggro, but it might be a misplay from him if he gives him the pillar advantage. This is what Avengelyne wants. And the lasso is being used.
I mean, the thing is, though, this is what we can expect, right? So let's say Avengelyne does... Oh, he's taking so much damage here. Has no bubble available. This is not good for Avengelyne. So listen, if for example, you know, Avengelyne does lose this match, he can choose a smaller map that will favor him. This is not a good map for him, right? He has a big pillar, but he has to make a lot of distance to get back to the pillar. The best thing Avengelyne can do is what he's doing right now, is playing the pillar, right? Keeping the fight at the pillar, trying to maintain a little bit of distance, using line of sight, and stalling out till dampening. Now, dampening is going to start racking up. We're at 3%. It's going to start building up. And as it builds up, if Avengelyne can stall out till wings, he has trinkets. Here's a lightning lasso, trinkets the lasso, and now he's going to go for it now. He's going to go for it. There's the wings. Gorecki really low, but does have wall available. There's the wall being traded out for the wings, but he's still all over him, doing so much damage. Locks him out of the head. He might take him down right here. He's going dangerously low. Gorecki's at one.
No way, dude! Holy cow! Avengelyne just nuking, just like I said, the nuclear weapon damage. Waiting for the perfect moment. We are all mind blown right there.
Dude,
that was the nukes I was talking about. It was the nukes I
The crowd is going
earlier.
wild, ladies and gentlemen.
That was ridiculous.
Oh
Avengelyne
my goodness.
Takes it home.
The build up, but the key point in that matchup that people might have missed is he locked Gorecki on the hex, and that was the turning point, because if he didn't lock him on that hex, if he got juked, then Gorecki would have hexed him, and then he'd have to wait for a while. He'd pop back off. But he pushed it before dampening. Dampening was about 5 or 6% when that took place. He locked him on the hex. He couldn't heal for a while, and huge ret damage. Ret still does so much damage even after the nerf. So he played that so well, and that's what people were saying. 1.5k ret in chat. Avengelyne is an insane ret paladin on NA
He didn't
right
even
now.
miss a single kick, I believe.
He didn't miss a kick. He just didn't time it for the hex. So the thing was, he picked up on the pattern. Picked up on the pattern. He knew that he would have to try and lock the hex and forget the heals, because he can burst through the heals. He needs to try and lock him out on the hex so he can't reset, and he did that perfect. And now we are on what is Ashermane's fall? I don't know.
Ashermane's fall.
There's a guy in the boat in the
Gorecki's
background.
map choice, gentlemen. Interesting map choice. This is kind of like the 12 variant, but a little bit smaller.
Absolutely jaw-dropping damage though from Avengelyne. It's just another classic case of ret paladin damage. If you just give them the slightest bit, they will immediately run with it. And one kick can be absolutely devastating for any class against a ret. That was absolutely fantastic gameplay.
That was so good.
Is our score?
Yeah, our score is perfect, brother.
Oh, okay. Attaboy. Very proud. Can we get a little hyper clap for Savix doing so much work? You guys have no idea how much scenes and how many things Savix has to do.
All this mouse macro.
He has like 20 buttons bound on his mouse right now, so give him a little bit of love in chat, because otherwise
it's hard. Cameraman is hard, gentlemen. Let's go, baby. Round 2.
Would have to be watching just basic Twitch streams. He put so much work into this, so give him a little bit of credit. It's very hard to one man do all the things that he's doing, so show him a little bit of love in chat, because it's very difficult to do.
Give him a kiss, Stoops. Give him a kiss.
Where are you at?
Avengelyne just sleeping your disrespect.
Avengelyne sleeping. Full BM by Avengelyne. Full BM.
Unfortunate.
Dude, I love this though, right? I love shit talking. I love a little bit of excitement.
You hate to see it though, Stoops. You hate to see it though.
I love to see it. What do you mean you hate to see it? I absolutely love to see it.
I love it. This is the best BM.
BM like no other. Falling asleep in the arena. I do this all the time when people sit behind a pillar. You just go, and you fall asleep, and it kind of entices them in. But he's doing a great job. Gorecki staying composed and saying, I'm not falling for that bait. But honestly, if Avengelyne really wants to win, he's already up 1-0. He can just sit behind that pillar all day and do the same thing he did last game in late dampening.
Milking the pillar as usual, as a ret paladin should. Not letting the elemental use his mind games on him. Absolutely
We are having
Completely-
some FPS issues right now. A little bit of lag. I'm not sure if it's on the internet. My CPU seems fine, but OBS just lagging. My computer might be dying here, gentlemen.
The green screen is showing loud and.
Oh.
Oh, not
This
good.
lag is
Computer
so
is
nice,
melting.
gentlemen.
Oh.
I might bring over my computer right now to solve this issue. Try alt tabbing, maybe. I don't know.
Alt tabbing, indeed. I am trying. Gentlemen, might have to turn off this scoreboard. Still lagging, I see. Changing scenes 1 second, gentlemen. Technical difficulty.
A little
that-
technical
Is
difficulties.
it that bad?
It's really bad, brothers and sisters. And back to the main game. Is it still lagging?
Eh.
Not fixed.
I don't know, restart it after. All right, just go for it anyway. Who cares, dude? I mean, they're gonna sit here anyway, dude. You might as well just take a nap, bust out some popcorn. This dude's not coming behind the pillar. He's gonna stay back there. Eventually, already he's up 1-0. He's not gonna try and make magic happen twice. So he's just gonna sit back there. Gorecki said, "I'm not falling this anymore." Gorecki wants to win this. So I mean, you might as well just. I'm taking a nap. You know what I'm saying? I have a little bit of this one of these like overpriced gaming chairs. I can just pull this back and take a little bit of a nap.
Oh, I
Give
got
him a
one
while
too.
till this guy actually decides to come out.
Mine's not as good as yours, but like I can like kind of lean
More
back.
F? More F? Wait, we should be fine now.
Well, Avengelyne going in though, trying to connect on Gorecki, but Gorecki using his Thunderfuck, saying, "No, not today, Ret Paladin. I will not have any taste of your light." Gorecki though, trying to just not really do anything except for stay in the middle of the map.
I think the stream
Avengelyne.
is frozen right now, gentlemen.
Unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen. It is
Oh!
actually frozen.
We're back live, boys. I think
We're
fine.
live, ladies and
You're
gentlemen.
back.
We're back.
You're back.
And
All right,
we're back.
save,
And we're back.
save.
Saved. Gentlemen, if you missed anything here, the videos are
That's
being
not-
recorded, so you can
The
watch
videos
it
are
on
being recorded,
YouTube.
but you missed. Listen, chat. You missed nothing. Okay,
Yeah,
this
you
guy's
missed
been on his
jack
mount.
shit.
You missed nothing. These guys are grabbing their sleeping
Get in
bags.
this goddamn thing.
You can literally take a nap right now. He's flash of lightning. He's BMing. He's rebuffing. I mean, right now Gorecki's playing to win. Okay, Avengelyne played this style last match, but Gorecki fell for it. Right. The key point was Gorecki was playing on Avengelyne's pillar, and this time he's not playing on the pillar. He's staying in the middle, and he's telling Avengelyne, "I'm not going to come out here until you come off the pillar." Now, I don't actually know who this is going to favor in dampening, right? Bubble is a mechanic that he can use where he won't take any damage for a prolonged period of time. But if Avengelyne has to push in, he might have to force bubble if dampening's too high. Avengelyne's not going to play that game, though. He's already up 1-0, and I don't know if he thinks he can do the same thing he did the last game. So he said, "I'm not going to risk that." And Gorecki's not going to risk it because he's already down 0-1. So they're going to sit in the dampening, and they're not going to come out until they feel it's a safe point for them to come out and actually force a trinket, a wall. But Avengelyne's not taking the bait, and neither is Gorecki here.
Let's talk about some transmog. Whose mog are you guys favoring
Well-
more? The Flaming Hot Cheetos right here? Or, oh, Avengelyne just jumping in when we're talking about that transmog.
Getting impatient, coming back in. There's the Wick of Ashes, but once again, Kite's out, but nothing forced, right? There was
It's
nothing
just a
forced
Thunderfuck.
by Avengelyne, and there was nothing forced by Gorecki.
Yeah,
Did
that
you-
Thunderstorm right on Hodge is just perfect lineup. It's kind of hard for Avengers to set up.
The thunderstorm just literally resets the fight every time. But back to the transmog talk. Honestly, Avengelyne for a dark iron dwarf, that's actually pretty saucy for a Ret Paladin. It's got that dark theme. But Gorecki rocking the absolutely flawless red, violet, ruby boy. I'm really liking that Legion enchant though. It's that
I
nice
don't know if it's more of a
green.
ruby or just I don't know. He has a little
He just looks like a Flaming Hot Cheetos to me, dude.
a flaming hot Cheeto, huh?
He's
I mean, he has
rocking
some
Christmas colors. That's Christmas colors, brother. I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
true. That is
he has
true.
he has some nice goggles on. He's got that nice little like Tomb Raider torch going on. I mean,
Out of 10, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give it I don't know. I'm a fan
I'm gonna
of
give it
like.
an 8 point. I'm
you
gonna
know,
give it an
the
8.5.
thing is though, here's the thing though. If you go like to a mate and you go to any rank, like in my opinion, the try-hardish mogs, right? They have these generic, weird custom mogs. If you're looking at from like a rank 1 perspective, they're probably gonna give it a 9. If I have to give it something, I'm gonna give it like a 7. I don't know, maybe.
I'll give it an 8.5. I think it's a solid color choice. Not a lot of like thick red boys out there, and
Oh,
it's
we're
good.
talking about Gorecki, right? His
Yeah,
mog?
we're talking about Gorecki. We can get.
No,
we can get
eventually it's a pog mod. I don't know. Eventually it's like it's a classic red mod.
This
Well,
does
that
look
sword,
nice,
though, is unobtainable. That sword is from the challenge modes in Warlords of Draenor, and that That is a very big, thick boy weapon. Not a lot of females are able to hold that, but Avengelyne showing his lady is stronger than 2 tons of
Savix, it's
Lord
happening. Savix, it's
Sword.
happening. It's
It's
happening, Savix.
happening. People are grabbing their sleeping
happening,
bags,
Savix.
gentlemen.
Oh no, and there it is.
10 minutes into dampening.
This
I'm
is
not
a
sure
yikes.
how long they're gonna wait for this. They both don't want to risk this battle.
This is insane.
This is the first
Oh
dampener
my
game
gosh.
of the Savix Invitational. We'll see more of these when we see some road games, gentlemen. But this
is
one, Gorecki getting a little impatient here. Maybe go in
Fire.
and juking him. I'm not sure who will win with this dampening. If Avengelyne can land a kick or bubble with the Hex, try to finish, he might win again. I feel like Gorecki has a disadvantage here if he doesn't win in the early rounds.
We should have had topics for when the matches went up to 100% dampening. Holy shit.
I just woke
Alright,
up.
welcome
Is
back.
it over?
Welcome back, dude.
Still casting.
Is it
bro.
over?
Not
Oh,
over.
still here. All right.
We're
Still
at
here,
field.
brothers and sisters.
We're
You
still
fell
here.
asleep.
Okay, so what's happened so far? Okay, so basically, yeah, nothing has happened so far. We're still in the same point that we were like 5 minutes ago. Dampening is racking up. I mean, this is a good time to go for a bathroom break, maybe. Gorecki pushing in though might make something happen here. Avengelyne saying, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna sit behind my pillar, and then that means I'm gonna go back to letting Rekachon talk, and I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah, this is just, I mean,
Rekachon, how's
honestly,
the weather in Bakersfield right now?
let me look out the window.
Yeah, check outside the window, bro. Tell us how.
Actually,
oh, it's really
well,
sunny outside. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's pretty sunny out there, brother. The past couple days have been pretty rainy, but today is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, the rain. There's a drought in California. Rain's really good for us. I'm
That's
not a
right.
big fan of it, but do you guys like rain?
I like rain because I get to chill inside and play WoW. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't like rain. You know what I mean? I don't like rain. It makes me depressed. It makes me sad. I like sunlight. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go out in the
Yeah.
sun. I play WoW all day, so my skin. I'm supposed to be tan.
I
I'm
think
really
it's like,
pale.
I think if
You
you're
know?
like a fat person, you like the rain more. I don't know why.
Mm.
Like that's just, in my opinion, I feel like if you're a heavier person, you know, like if you got a KFC bucket chilling on your bedside, like, I feel like you definitely like the rain. Like it's just you just stay inside, and you can't go outside and work out because it's raining. So and I'm not gonna go for a drive. Are you fucking kidding me? It's raining, dude. I'm saving my gas, saving my time, eating my chicken, and I'm chilling, brother. That's me all day
I don't
long,
know,
man.
dude. I mean, I used to be. Listen, you might not.
That's why you don't
I
like
used to be. Listen, I used to be pretty overweight, dude. Okay, I used to go into class and I'd go into like the science. Oh, he's pushing in though.
Oh, Gorecki pushing in, perhaps.
And then I go, damn, is that 25%? And then okay, all right,
And back to the
no,
build.
we're back. We're back.
Back
So I
to your
used to-
story.
listen,
Wait, you
so I
see
used to-
Chavi?
I used to go into science class, right? This is the 8th grade. I told this story before. And my mom, my mom would buy me some T-shirts. You know, they didn't fit me the best. They were kind of faded. It was like kind of like I was in the
no.
8th grade. Everyone was into punk rock. I had like a Volcom T-shirt. It was very blue. But because it was so short, my love handles would pop out a lot. You know what I mean? It would hang out the
Hell yeah,
side.
brother.
You know what I'm
Hell
saying? You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
dude.
So when you sit in the science class, you sit on one of those stools. There's no backing on the stools. So like, I felt really uncomfortable. I used to bring jackets because I didn't want my love handles to pop out of the side of this T-shirt. But then like one day I forgot my T-shirt, my jacket, my handles were popping out. And then everyone behind me would come up behind me and just shake those motherfuckers. Just shake
Oh,
them.
that is disrespect, brother.
I mean, what am I gonna do? I can't say anything. It's 8th grade. I'm just gonna get beat
You
up.
gotta
No one
smack
cares.
him, brother.
No, man.
Grab your pencil, stab him in the eye, and punch him. You know what I
No,
mean?
man, it sucked, dude. It was scarring. There was stretch marks
Wow.
over there. And then the worst part was there was a girl that I really liked, and then the girl that I really liked, she was never gonna talk to me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm a nerd. But like
Holy
when
shit.
I saw her, one day I was feeling all good about myself, and I was wearing that T-shirt though. Thought I lost a little bit of weight, and then she came in with the guy, and then the guy was with her, and the guy that's with her, he's shaking my fucking love hand.
Oh,
dude.
no,
And that was it.
dude.
You know, that was it. You know, I went home.
I'm so sorry to hear that,
Stabbed my
brother.
voodoo doll a couple times. I was pretty depressed in my room, and it is what it was. It is.
This is a great content, you know what I mean?
35 minutes
It's not
into
great content, it's
dampening.
my life.
Chat, who do you think will win? Shaman or Paladin? Shaman or Paladin? Who do you think will win? Let's see some votes. 35 minutes in. Everyone's
type-
voting for the Paladin. I see a lot of Paladin. One Shaman, two Shaman. Everyone is on that Paladin side because they saw that nuclear weapon
Yeah.
bomb dropping.
I
So
favor the
hard.
paladin in here too, because what is Gorecki really gonna do? wall, but he can trade bubble out for wall.
Maybe we're disrespecting Gorecki. If he gets a grounding on that Hodge, if he could time it perfectly, and
I mean, the thing is, I'm not disrespecting Gorecki here because he doesn't want to play the pillar because he loses. There's the lightning blast, so now he's making something. Damn it!
It's gotta be really hard to heal.
No, this is what he's doing. He's trying to force out the bubble now. If he can force the bubble now, when damage gets too high, then Avengelyne actually has no chance. So you need to try and force bubble now so that when he pushes in at high dampening, Gorecki can still take this. But I just, the thing is, Gorecki has no choice. If he plays the pillar, he loses.
That's
right? He loses if he plays the pillar.
That's right.
So he has to sit out here.
I feel like when Avengelyne has no mana, he should push in though, because he can't heal as much.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
After he cowboy lightning lassoed him, he should have went in there, dude.
I mean, yeah, I totally agree.
Because with the dampening, it's hard to heal, and if he gets bubble, like you said, that's super handicapped for him. So I feel like somebody's got to do damage here.
Rekatron, like, not even looking. Rekatron, look at me, dude. Look at me, Rekatron.
Rekatron, give Stoops a hug, brother.
Give me a hug.
I'm trying to get some marshmallows.
I'm looking at the action. I'm looking at the action.
Marshmallows for Gorecki's campfire he set up in the middle of the arena. Don't interrupt me, all right? Marshmallows come before you.
Disrespecting me, like, I don't know what you're doing. Petting your cat or something.
Listen, dude.
Jesus Christ. Look at me, damn it. I'm having to watch the same thing you're watching. These two. Oh, here goes the lightning lasso. There's a trinket. Now Avengelyne's going for it. He forces trinket with the lightning lasso. He's all over him. 47% dampening. This is big damage, but he's holding on his wings. Here comes the Hex, though. I think that's a misplay,
Hex
though.
on a mount. I've never seen
no
a
wings.
ride
No
a
wings and Hex. I'm not
that's
sure.
the misplay. Gorecki is in so much trouble here. He has no Hex. Here comes the wings. My force bubble. Everything's being traded out here. Avengelyne falling super low. Needs to use the bubble. There's a trinket, though. Here comes bubble. I don't know.
Oh my god. I'm not sure if Avengelyne can win. He is so low. He has the finishing blow here. He's kiting away.
This is not looking good for Gorecki. For Avengelyne, though. He's falling really low.
Oh!
There is the lightning lasso. This is so bad for Avengelyne. Maybe we were wrong. And there's the
oh, there's no way.
And there's no way.
And down goes Avengelyne 1-1. We have to
Dude,
set up a campfire one more time, gentlemen.
Dude, thank God we didn't fall asleep during that match because that happened in a blink of an eye. Insane plays by Gorecki.
It happened in a blink of an eye.
Bursting that boy down.
Maybe if you don't blink, it happened in a blink of an eye. Jesus Christ, dude. I have to sit through that again. I mean, you have to. The thing is, if that was me, now if I was trying to compete to win money, of course I'd play like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's no we can't disrespect that.
No, 100% I would play like that.
Oh, yeah, I'd play like that too. Give me the $2,500.
That's right, dude. Everyone would play like that. He knows that he has a disadvantage if he goes out. That was Gorecki's map choice as well, but now we'll be seeing Avengelyne's map choice, gentlemen.
Not much of a pillar here.
The tiny map.
To be the juice. This map is the juice, chat. Okay? This map is really good for Avengelyne. So much smaller. He can cross over a lot of the pillars, and it's hard for. I don't know though. Maybe Avengelyne can't hide behind a pillar as well either. So this is gonna be an interesting map choice. But a lot of people are picking this map when they feel like they're getting kited too much. It seems like. So
this is the final match. There is a tome in the middle for the guy to go in there after he loses, and we'll find out who goes in. Ladies and gentlemen, Shaman or Red Paladin, once again 1-1. Rekachan, what do you think? Who do you think will win this match?
I mean, I don't know how this is gonna be able to be played out. I mean, you can't. There's not really a lot of pillars that Avengelyne can use to his advantage here. Like Gorecki can't just throw a quick flame shock on him, throw a slowing grounding totem or earthbind totem on him. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Avengelyne plays this. He might just go super hyper aggro right from the starts. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the match decider.
He's all over him here. He's all over him here, trying to get right on top of him. Avengelyne not waiting this time.
Perfect knock into that room.
Yeah, really good job. Every time he lands that Hammer of Justice, he uses the Thunderstorm and knocks him back. It's a very good play by Gorecki, but Avengelyne is all over him here. There's the Lightning Lasso, no trinket available because he used his Dark Iron Dwarf racial, so no trinket available. Here comes the Shield of Vengeance, but there's the Hex on the Shield of Vengeance. I think it's a fair trade out by Gorecki. I like the way Avengelyne is playing here, right? He said, I can't win in the dampening matchup, but he's going back to the pillar, but I don't think he wins the dampening matchup once again, right? It is a smaller map, though, so it's easier for him to connect here. I think if they play like this again, it's going to favor Gorecki, as we saw earlier. And it seems like a lot of people in chat do just not like Paladins. I mean, imagine being Savix, you're playing a Red Paladin. No one likes Red Paladins. I wonder why. You know,
the one reason is because Avengelyne is playing with the pillar, and when you play with the pillar, it's not the best to watch, but he has no choice. Avengelyne doesn't have mobility. He has to be in the pillar until he gets his steed, or he can mount up. So Avengelyne is going to try to mount up and go for the charge again, but he did lose some of his cooldowns, so I feel like he'll wait it out or just go.
I think the big thing, though, that Avengelyne is doing, respecting his opponent, he's not just taking Gorecki lightly, knowing that he can down his Rat Paladin. Like, at the end of the day, anybody that's just going to try to slice up a multiple-minded man, like, he's just too good at the game. You can't just run at a gladiator like that. You can't just run at a titan and man like that. You have to use your advantages, which is that pillar and that instant blink of an eye burst that a Ret Paladin has. But
yeah, but Avengelyne's falling low here once again. He's trying to recover himself, but if Gorecki can actually capitalize, like Savix said, when he's low on mana, he won't be able to recover as easily. But he's pushing in once again, trying to get back on Gorecki. He still hasn't forced the trinket or the wall here. So as he pushes in, he needs to try and force a trinket or a wall. Here comes the wings, and he trades out trinket for the wings. So every time they use CDs, they're trading them out efficiently. Here comes the hex once again. So now Gorecki has made an adjustment, right? The last time he hexed Avengelyne, where Avengelyne won that match, he hexed him right on top of Avengelyne. This time he's knocking him back, and then as Avengelyne pushes in, he goes for the hex. So that's a big change here. Gorecki's falling really low. No trinket or wall available. He's in a bad spot here, but damn, he's not high enough, I believe, for him to make much of a difference. There's Stormkeeper being used. There's a full Hammer of Justice, though, onto Gorecki. Avengelyne doing so much damage onto Gorecki here. Lightning Lasso being used here. No bubble for Avengelyne. Nothing really left for Avengelyne. This is very scary. Stormkeeper doing a lot of damage. Shield of Vengeance being used here. This is going to deal a lot of damage if it explodes on top of him, but he gets knocked back with the Thunderstorm. He needs to try to ensure that Shield of Vengeance explodes on top of Gorecki.
That Thunderstorm play is so good, and he always gets him on the edge. Like that one earlier, he just knocks him back into the stairs, into the room, and same with this one. He knew he was going to knock him into that tome, and it's just so hard to avoid for Avengelyne.
Yeah, the thing is, Avengelyne now Gorecki forcing Trinket onto Avengelyne with that Lightning Lasso, but Avengelyne is running low on mana here. He pushes in now. It might be a good idea, but I think he's timing this Hammer of Justice. He has no trinket available. He does have wall in 22 seconds, so it might be wiser to push in now when you have your wall back up your Ancestral Shift around 15 seconds or so. Then he can push in a little bit more safe or under safer conditions. And now Gorecki, once again, maintaining his distance and stalling out for that wall, it seems like.
Definitely Avengelyne looking a lot in trouble here. No trinket, no bubble. Wings coming up though, but the Gorecki's wall and trinket's up in 20 seconds, but Gorecki's wall is already up. This is looking a little sketchy though for Avengelyne. I want to see Gorecki's Maelstrom. Okay, so it's just a 50%. Doesn't have necessarily a one-shot lined up. There is a Hodge, but it immediately thunderfucks him away.
Yeah,
that is countering Avengelyne all the time. It's just so sad to see.
Listen, there's a bunch of, there's always some asking for advice in Twitch chat, how to get better. And there's obviously the Twitchful Glad that thinks he knows everything too, right? But when you're trying to get better, you have to time your CDs with other CDs that are evenly timed in cooldown. So the way that they're playing is that every time he goes in for the Hajj, he uses his Thunderstorm, knocks him away. They're trading Trinket for, his wings there. So every time that they have a CD, they use a defensive CD to counteract that, and that's why these duels or these 1v1s go on for so long, is they're evenly trading out their CDs in different situations.
And they're both not trying to give out positions, so it's just taking a while.
We are definitely seeing a lot more action though on this map. This short map is forcing way more cooldowns than we were seeing last one, and this is definitely a lot more previous match, but this is just a classic case of them wanting to save their cooldowns for the exact time. Gorecki probably not going to get kicked on that hex again. Gonna respect Avengelyne, knowing that he's not gonna just be able to juke him to death.
He's not giving Avengelyne a chance to kick him on the hex though, right? He uses the hex after he's made some distance from Avengelyne. Like I said, the last time they fought, if you watch the first game over, where it was a lot more action packed, he tried to go for the hex right when Avengelyne was on top of him, after Avengelyne might have kicked something else, but now Avengelyne's holding his kick for that hex, but he's not giving him a chance to even get close enough to land the interrupt on the hex. And again, that's a big telling point. There's always maybe one mechanic in a 1v1 that determines the pace of the 1v1 and who is going to come out on top in the 1v1. And I think that's the big mechanic there, right? Every time he pushes in to try and interrupt the hex, he's not able to connect fast enough before the hex gets off, where it was much different in the previous or the first game.
I would say, though, when all cooldowns are up, Avengelyne might just have the advantage to train down Gorecki at a certain point into dampening, but we are only at 6% right now. Evangelyne's bubble is coming up here in a minute. Not really
Thank God we're at 6%, brother. Thank God.
I feel
we're at
like
6%.
I feel like Avengelyne is waiting for his bubble. He's gonna play a little bit aggressive. He's gonna try to fake wings again with that Hodge, and use his mini wings. He'll knock him back, and then he might use his main wing. We'll see. In 50 seconds, he's getting his bubble back. Gorecki still has all his cooldown, and we're just waiting for Avengelyne's cooldown.
Gorecki does have a full Maelstrom, so he is probably looking to line up a lot of one-shot potential damage here with Stormkeeper.
The Hydra summoners.
The Hydra was
Bring 'em out,
there.
brother.
I actually love the Hydra, but
Dude,
Twitch
Can
doesn't
we
like
hail some Hydra?
gentlemen.
We're not allowed to, but you know,
I mean,
I'm a
chat's
big
not,
fan of the Hydra boys. I'm a big
chat's
fan
not
of the Hydra.
showing on screen. I mean, a little Hydra spam's okay.
Hail Hydra. There's
I
always a
won't-
clip
I
that I
won't.
love to see. The Hail Hydra. It's my favorite clip of all time. Hail Hydra.
Of course.
Actually, they say that. The little small hands. I'm a Twitch chat viewer, so don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of it.
A
I'm
little
a big
Hydra
fan
in the
too.
morning feels good.
I love
You know
summoning it. You know what I mean? It needs to feast once in a while.
Yeah,
It needs to
that's
feast.
right.
what I mean?
You gotta feed it once in a while. But
Oh,
gotta
that
let
was
it
a
out.
lot of Hydras in the chat just now.
I mean, the thing is, like I said, you guys can get mad all you want. You know, if you were in this tournament, you'd have to play like this. What else is he supposed to do? Like, you can either go out there and most certainly lose, and then it's just like you guys would be going, "Oh, Omega lol, he lost," da 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 da. Or you can play smart and try and edge out a win. And I can't blame anyone for doing that, right? If you want to play to win, this is how you have to do it sometimes. Not every matchup is going to be like this, but if you are a Ret who has freedom that can be purged, and all you have is one Divine Steed, you're not going to connect half the time. So you need to play smart, but Gorecki's playing in a way where Avengelyne has to stay on this pillar to do anything at all.
I mean, this is definitely the matchup. I mean, ranged versus goes sometimes. I think if it was melee versus you wouldn't be able to be kiting this much. There might be a little bit more engagements, but I mean, this is gonna be in the span of 15 seconds. Someone will die in this match very quickly. Looking
Ooh,
like
Avengelyne is
This is a
pushing
bad-
in.
This is a bad spot for both of them
Lasso.
almost. There's the lasso now by Gorecki onto Avengelyne. Avengelyne getting slowed now. Gorecki keeping his distance. There's the Steed coming out, not using freedom, holding them both. Gets knocked away once again, but was it on the Hammer of Justice there? He
It
did not
wasn't.
actually-
It might be the
wasn't.
play here.
It might be the play for Avengelyne, but Gorecki still has Trinket available and Wall available. So when he goes for the Hammer of Justice, there's the freedom. Immediately, freedom gets purged off. So you guys have to see that every time he tries to make any type of connection.
Avengelyne
Gorecki just kites
wants
away.
to
what
damage.
about those wheelchairs, boys?
Yeah,
we
he
are
has the
going
best
for a
wheelchair
ride.
right now. Avengelyne did put execution sentence. He's ready to damage, but Gorecki just positioning so well and lassoing away, and Avengelyne just not being able to connect, so he couldn't use that wing there. He did want to force it, but he couldn't.
He did want to force it there, though. He held his wings, but
Avengelyne
Gorecki
has
hasn't-
no mana. Avengelyne is tapped on mana. Cannot heal for a good couple seconds. Gorecki should maybe push in
I
here.
feel
a
like he
little.
should have went into because he doesn't have Hodge for a little bit, but
Yeah, but the thing
Avengelyne
is, the
will
thing
get
is,
the
the thing is,
cooldowns
though,
now.
he hasn't forced Trinket or Wall yet. So like, he has to try and get both of them in one go. This is not looking good for Avengelyne, right? He hasn't been able to force Trinket or Wall, but that's what happens when you can't even push in at all. How are you supposed to force any CDs if you can't push in? He does have Bubble available though, and he does have his big burst available with Wings. If you can try and lock out Gorecki as he pushes in, try and connect, but it's just once again so difficult, right? You have Frost Shock, you have your Earthbind Totem, and then your freedom can be purged off. I mean, how do you actually connect as a Rep Paladin in this matchup? And this map favors Avengelyne, so he's just not able to do much of anything on this pillar. And some classes just don't beat other classes. This has been the same thing since Vanilla WoW. When I played Vanilla WoW, there was just certain classes that you would never beat another class. And this is one of those matchups. So Avengelyne now falling really low to that Lightning Lasso. Doesn't have Trinket for Wall. If Gorecki can force a bubble early, Stormkeeper being used now, a lot of damage going to be taken by Avengelyne due to that Stormkeeper, but he's trying to line of sight it the best that he can. Or is this the Lightning Lasso I missed? My UI is a little scuffed here. Thanks, Blizzard.
Avengelyne just complimenting Rekatron's broken hat right there. Your straw's a little blown up there. What happened? You want to tell us a story?
I get a little aggressive sometimes. Get a little monka-esque. So
Is it like a shotgun from the farm you live in, or?
yeah, I was trying to hunt down a hawk, and the hawk came down and gave me a good swoop at my hat.
Here he
But-
comes, though. He's pushing in now. For some reason, Rekatron talking about his hat or something on the Hawk. I don't Gorecki's sitting in the room. Avengelyne trying to push in. Now has Trinket available. All CDs available for Gorecki. Look for Gorecki to try and knock Avengelyne into this room.
Yeah, he wants to lasso him and push him in.
Yeah, he's going to try and knock him. Here it comes. Once again, lightning lasso into the knock into the room. Can he pull it off? Actually, he thinks the line of sight is not there for him, right?
So he's taking him to the tome. And there
but Avengelyne perfectly positioned himself against the wall. So if you got knocked, you get knocked into the wall. So Gorecki didn't go for it there, maintaining his distance. Avengelyne really needs to make something happen here because we saw what happened when it hit late dampening, around 52, 54%. They pushed in, and he got absolutely nuked out.
But Avengelyne is playing double wing. Last game, he did not play double wing. It's just Gorecki's using that stair so well and the tome. If he doesn't have a chance to knock him into the stair, he uses his tome in the middle. And it's so good to see. They're just using cooldowns really well. Positioning is really good from both sides.
I mean, you're lucky that dampening's even in play right now. If this is a real duel, there is no dampening. So this duel could go forever. This duel will go forever if we run into a war game because there'll be no dampening whatsoever. Now, Avengelyne pushing in, trying to force a Trinket or a wall. Here comes the wings. Trinket and wall instantly being traded out. So now they're using all CDs. Wings, Wake of Ashes, wall from Gorecki.
This is it.
He locks him, though. He locks Gorecki again. Can it be a repeat of the same game? Shield Avengers, big damage. Here comes the Hex, though. He needs to bubble this. I think he needs to go for the bubble. Maybe stalling out on that bubble, holding it, though. I think he should have went for that.
He broke out. He broke out. That was his mini wings. Good eyesight, Megatron.
There we go. Calling for the mini wings. Shield of Vengeance is going to explode now. Holding on a bubble. He forced everything here. Actually, Savix, is this good for Avengelyne?
This is really good for Avengelyne, but he has to go in soon before he can build up that Stormkeeper there. His lasso's ready as well. Avengelyne in a tight spot. Trinket's immediately. Hodge coming in. Big damage. Might be popped. The damage is in here. Avengelyne might just go for the finisher. He does get stunned. Hex instantly.
Breaks or he bubbles the Hex. He bubbles the Hex. And now he's all over Gorecki. Can't lock out Gorecki's heal, but 47% dampening. Might not be enough. Eventually just trucking Gorecki right now. All over him. If he can connect here, Gorecki's in so much trouble. He needs that freedom, but it'll be instantly purged off. He's still dead. It's all over Gorecki. Gorecki's going to go down for sure. Avengelyne will take this series.
Wow.
Down.
Wow. Finally, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my Wamu! That is against all odds. The Red Paladins, wheelchair masters of the dojo, coming out, showing off their vanilla rims, shining it in the faces of their competitors, and Gorecki falls down. Unbelievable play.
Thank God it's so over. I'm gonna. I just had to turn up my graphic because everything looked like Play-Doh, guys.
Thank God it's over.
Thank God. Holy cow.
Oh my God. Thank God, dude.
Give me one sec, gentlemen.
Absolutely insane plays by Avengelyne.
I was in the shower this morning, and I thought that this would happen. I was thinking to myself, like, all right, what could happen? That's exactly.
I actually didn't expect this to be the longest dampener, to be honest.
That was a fatty dampener.
I thought rogue games were gonna be a dampener. I did not see this.
I don't think rogue will be as damped. I think when the move comes out there, he's gonna play. Peekaboo plays pretty aggressive as I've seen, so I don't know.
Just flexing his Charizard card right there. Megatron, is that a giveaway or
Charizard? What are you doing?
This is a little.
Bro, it's 2019.
Dude, everyone's pogging, dude. I like it too.
Maybe I'm trolling. Maybe I'm trolling. All right.
A holographic Charizard? Are you kidding me? From the original set, brother?
That is a holographic.